Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's online international consultation on tackling the digital landscape of e-cigarettes and oral nicotine pouches globally. This is being done by Sipher in collaboration with the Union and Eco India. Uh, so today's uh, session will include topics on digital marketing by nicotine industry. We will also be talking about what is the current landscape of e-cigarette marketing, and what are the evidences from certain studies. Also understanding the global policies and the market landscape of the oral nicotine pouches. We have a mix of academicians who are here present today who will be taking these topics. And so, to kick off today's session, I would like to invite Dr. Rakesh Gupta, who is the President and Director of Public Health at Strategic Institute for Public Health Education and Research. So, if you can please give the welcome address.
Yeah, sure. So thank you, Dr. Paridhi. So I welcome Dr. Rana Jasing, Dr. Apisi Gupta, Madam Susan, Dr. Jayakumar Chakma, who is a scientist staff and head of the CPC ICMR, Mr. Cyril Shalini Bassi, who is a public health specialist at Public Health Foundation of India, and Mr. Cyril is executive director of the MACT. Ms. Supinder Kaur is with me as organizer, and Dr. Paridhi, I welcome as the organizer, one of the organizers, and she is also the host. So thank you all. So Paridhi, can you introduce Dr. Chakma?
Yes, sir.
Has he joined?
Just give me a minute.
Dr. Chakma, have you joined?
No, sir, I don't think so. He has joined.
Okay, then we can just go to Mr. Cyril then.
Uh,
Or I can give an overview. Dr. PC Gupta, can you give an overview of the situation? Dr. PC Gupta? Or I can give the overview, right? So as you all know that in India, the e-cigarettes are banned via PECA 2019, and it faces an emerging regulatory challenges regarding nicotine pouches, which are increasingly seen as a nicotine addiction issue among the youth, despite prohibitions on the sale, manufacture, and import of the electronic cigarettes. Enforcement gaps are there, which allow online availability. Both products are linked to addiction, cardiovascular, and respiratory risk. And the key aspects of the tissue in India are that electronic cigarette, or the popularly called as vapes, they were banned in 2019 under PECA. It makes it illegal to produce, manufacture, import, export, sell, distribute, or even advertise electronic cigarettes on any media. Then enforcement challenges are there. Despite the 2019 ban, electronic cigarettes, they remain available throughout online. It is available in gray market and hidden channels. They're often marketed to youth. And the nicotine pouches is increasing. The crisis is increasing. These are non-tobacco oral nicotine products, and they're gaining popularity. Critics argue that they are targeted at young users through flavored, though they are through flavors. They are smokeless and odorless designs. Health hazards are the nicotine, the same as the nicotine in other products also. So the nicotine consumption from these products is linked to heart attacks, severe cardiovascular issues, oral health damage, particularly in young population. And there are regulatory loopholes also. While the Drug Controller General of India warns against unapproved nicotine products, the tobacco industry attempts to market these as cessation aids to circumvent the tobacco laws. Then regulatory and future outlook: strict prohibition, both electronic cigarettes and the oral nicotine pouches, they are to be strictly washed and strictly controlled, and enforcement issues are also there. They are considered harmful with no established long-term safety profile, and the policy focus has to be there. The focus is on stricter enforcement of PECA 2019 and developing the comprehensive regulations to ban on strictly control the oral nicotine pouches under the existing tobacco laws, or even the oral nicotine pouches can be controlled under Drug and Cosmetic Act also. The public health concerns are definitely there. The public health advocates argue that these products, they provide no benefit and create a gateway for nicotine addiction among the non-smokers and also the youth. So with these words, I think we can invite Dr. Joy Chakma if he has come. Dr. Joy Chakma, have you joined us?
Sir,
Okay, then we can go to Cyril.
yeah. So it's my pleasure to invite Mr. Cyril Alexander, who's the state convener at Tamil Nadu People's Forum for Tobacco Control. And his topic is on digital marketing by nicotine industry. So, if you can please present. Mr. Cyril?
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Can I share my presentation?
Yes, sir, you can share your presentation now.
Is it visible now?
Yeah, it is visible.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
So if you can just go full presentation now. Yeah, it's there now. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you, sir, Dr. Rakesh Gupta, sir, and all the members. See, tobacco industry, now the digital media is the point of sale for the tobacco industry. So the tobacco industry is using the digital platforms to the advertising their product, as well as for the sales also. The promotion and everything is happening through the digital platforms. So they are well versed, and then they will introduce their new products, and then they advertise and promotes their brands, and good image by the CSR activities also. Through their CSR activities also, they are able to create some good image, and then the marketing and sales are happening in the thing. And then the film industry and OTT, they are also using this platform for their advertisement also. So this is also the major platform, the digital platform, the OTT, especially the OTT. The tobacco industry is using it for their promotional activities. So you can see nowadays, you can see all kind of electronic cigarette advertisements, like with name and all these kind of things are available in the movies. And then in future, you will be finding nicotine pouch box and other product names also. So, and then they are also using this film industry also. The film people, they just release one digital thing, and then it will reach to the masses. So the new product, the nicotine pouch, it's both are same, the electronic cigarette and nicotine pouches. The marketing strategy is same. Fortunately, we are able to completely ban the electronic cigarette, but now they are moving into the nicotine pouches. So the nicotine pouches, they are introducing it in the social media and on the digital marketing places. How the product is ordered. So it's not like the conventional method. They don't have the conventional method to sell their product. It's not coming to the regular market or the point of sale places. But in future it will come. But still, what they are doing it now, you can order through the online. So the products are found in the website. You can see the all kind of information will be available in the website. Then directed into login page. And then the wish list product also you can select and which product you want. And then for delivery, they can get your delivery address, payment option. There are many payment option, cash on delivery also it's available. And then the once your amount is paid, and then the tracking ID will be given, and then the customer can track their products also. So this kind of sophisticated system has been created. It's like for other products, the Amazon and other things. It's exactly for the same thing for the nicotine pouches also, and then electronic cigarette also. then it will deliver to your home itself, in your name and your home itself. We got this through our office, Mariana Charity Trust. So the loophole is the online sale is the major loophole for the thing. When we are thinking about digital marketing and digital sales, we don't have not even a single regulatory forms or any rule or regulations for addressing this issue. So really, it's a big issue. For example, how we can we did so it's a name called Das India. Das India, it's a known product. It's a company also. Interestingly, the Das company, it's a startup company. It's a very startup company. It started in Delhi, and then they introduced this product. Their homepage is like this, and then they explain about their product and then their company, and then you can place the order. The product details are very well explained here. Once you ordered, and then the payment option, it will go to the payment portal, and then you can pay, and then the shipping details will be available when it will come to your place and all these kind of things. So the payment options, all the payment options are available. Even so you can scan, and then you can pay for that. And then the tracking the ID, and then you can see the products reaching to your home. So the product will be delivered. So this person, this is the first business he is starting, and then he started this one, and then he find it this is the future business for him, and especially for India, because the consumers are very high, the number of consumers. So he find it very progressing business, and then he trained a few more members also. So he come up with new products, because the products are available in the local market, and then the machineries also available, and then the raw materials also it's available in 1,000 kg, 3,000, 10,000, 10 kgs. No, so it's like that. The products are available, so easily they can make it as a company. So even even you can order it from the other countries also, like Sweden. You can order the product, and then it will be reached to your home without any screening or any other interferences. So like that, the products are coming to your place. And then their advertisements and then the promotional activities are you cannot imagine at all. They will be coming with how you can use the videos also. So many reels also available, and then how to order and all these kind of things are available. And then even you can pay it through other currency also. So the manufacturing items, yes, from the starting to end product, you can find all. You can get all the manufacturing material as well as the machineries, because the machineries also it's like, because already it's in the market for cool lip and other product. The same machinery has been used. Now they are moving into nicotine pouches, and then they come up with different brands and then the flavors, and then coming to the market. So we did some intervention, and then we worked with the state government, and then we gave all the communication to them, and then we did several sensitization workshops for the government officials, and finally they are able to come up with the order through the drug control board. They are able to come up with a issue a notice saying that it's illegal, because as per the drug control act, only 2 mg has been allowed. As per the act, only 2 mg, even not even 4 mg is it's not allowed in that particular document also. But here you can see from 2 mg to 50 mg nicotine pouches are available through online. So they gave a advisory, and then it was well published in the Tamil newspapers. And then they filed a case also. They filed 4 cases. One is the Das India, which I show you. No? So the people they came. Then only we came to know it's a startup company. So they came, and then they explained it's a startup company. We didn't start any business as much in big quantity. So we will be stopping this business. So like that, they came and then they gave the letter and then they came back. And then another company from Gujarat, and then they stopped the online sale actually. So they now you cannot find the online sale is there. So they came and then they actually challenged the drug control people. It's a tobacco product. It's a tobacco product. Why you are giving a notice to us? So the thing is going on. The other two more companies, they say yes, we don't have license, so we are sorry. So they send a apologies letter also, but still the case has been filed. So the digital media has to be the market has to be taken care, and then the online sales and OTT content needs stronger regulations. Evidence-based advocacy ensure the rapid action is very important, because this is going to be the big issue for the country in upcoming years. So really we have to identify their marketing strategies, and then really we have to address them, and then really we have to come up with some national level ban on this. Thank you, sir. If you have any questions, I can answer.
Yeah, thank you, Cyril. And you told us about how the electronic cigarettes and the oral nicotine pouches are advertised in OTT and by the film industry also, and in the social media, and how it is sold through social media. And you also told about all the payment options available for getting these electronic cigarettes and oral nicotine pouches. And then I agree that digital media intensifies tobacco marketing challenges, and the stronger regulation is required for these new menaces. Thank you. So, Paridhi,
Yeah.
can you
So
call Dr.
thank you, Mr.
He's
Cyril.
our honorable guest here.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Cyril, for giving your talk. It was very enlightening. I would now like to invite Dr. Prakash Gupta, who is a renowned epidemiologist and the director of ELE's Sipher, which is an institute for public health. Sir, thank you for being an honorable guest for this session. And if you can just give 2 words and address the group.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rakesh, and thank you, Paridhi, for introduction and inviting me to speak in this wonderful seminar. See, the flavors and tastes are extremely important for tobacco industry. I have seen the old tobacco industry document, very old documents, in which their own marketing team is lamenting that the products are smelly, they taste bad, they have bad effect, and we have to sell and market those products. And but even with that kind of limitation, we know that they developed very successful marketing and advertising strategies for their products, and they were the first one. Cigarette industry was the first industry in the world to develop that kind of skill, because all other products until the beginning of 20th century were necessary product for human for the society. So they need not be advertised. People were buying them anyway. And with that, even now, cigarette tobacco industry is a past master in advertising and marketing. One of the biggest impediment in marketing and use of tobacco product was smelly and bad flavor and revulsion that it caused. So what they did, they added specific ingredients, they made it palatable, they made it smell good, and that's how the use and prevalence shot up. Now, after tobacco products, there is a lot of awareness now. There are laws against tobacco products, advertising, marketing, they are not fully enforced. They cannot. There is difficulty in enforcement, but the regulations are there. Now they know. So tobacco products are difficult for the industry now. New tobacco products are difficult to put in. So what they have come up with are nicotine products. Now, nicotine, one way is, so far it could be easily extracted from tobacco, not a huge, very complicated process. They could easily extract it from tobacco leaves. But if they are extracted, if nicotine is extracted from tobacco leaf, that is still a tobacco product. And all the laws and limitations that apply to tobacco products will apply to those nicotine products. So the industry has gone ahead and made synthetic nicotine. And in these products like electronic cigarettes now and nicotine pouches specifically, they use synthetic nicotine also. What is the proportion? We don't know. And the chemists, biochemists will say that it's almost, organic chemists will say it's almost impossible, extremely difficult to find out how much of synthetic nicotine is there, how much of natural nicotine is there. And if synthetic nicotine is there, the law that apply to tobacco products will not apply to them. Fortunately, as everyone knows, electronic cigarettes are banned in India. So it's a question of enforcement rather than making a new regulation. But for oral nicotine pouches, yet there is no particular law either banning their manufacture or sale or adding flavors into them. And they get popular, especially among children, if there are nice flavors, candy flavors, and other flavors which children like. So it is a very serious kind of problem on which we all need to deliberate and think of possible solution. And therefore, I very much look forward to deliberations in this workshop and congratulate Rakesh and ECO on organizing this particular workshop. Thank you very much, Rakesh. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor. And it was a pleasure that you joined. You could join the consultation, and you really told about us how the marketing was difficult for those smelly products, and now they have added flavors to them, to these products, especially the nicotine products, the new emerging nicotine products. And the laws are really good in India, as with all laws. So laws against tobacco and nicotine, they are also good. And as you told that under PECA 2019, electronic cigarettes have been banned, but the enforcement is an issue. So that will remain an issue. So thanks a lot, sir. Thank you. Yes, Dr. Paridhi.
Yes, thank you so much, sir, for your
Can
work.
you take snapshots here?
Yeah, I was just gonna do that, sir. So I would request everyone to please switch on their videos. We'll just take a group photograph with all of you.
Good morning, everyone. We'll be starting shortly. So,
Dr. Wasim is also with us here. Dr. Wasim, you may please
yeah.
video.
So on the count of three, bright smiles, everyone. 1, 2, 3. All right, I'll just take one more. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Thank you, everyone. So moving on with the next agenda item, I would like to call upon Dr. Shalini Basi, who is the public health specialist at Public Health Foundation of India, and she will be giving her talk on the unveiling the digital landscape of e-cigarette marketing in India, evidence from a mixed method study. Ma'am, if you can, Dr. Shalini, are you there?
Yes, yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, ma'am, welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Parinidhi. And can you give me the access to share my screen?
Yeah, I've given you the access, ma'am.
Just a minute.
Yeah, it is visible here.
Is it in
Just
the
make it
slideshow
yeah.
mode?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. A very good morning to all. It is my privilege to be a part of this important consultation today. And first, I would like to sincerely thank Dr. Rakesh Gupta as well as the union to provide this opportunity to be a part of this consultation. And the title of my session is Unveiling the Digital Landscape of E-cigarette Marketing in India. So here I will be presenting the evidence from a mixed method study, which Public Health Foundation of India has undertaken in collaboration with WHO. And the main objective of the study is to assess the compliance of PECA 2019, which is the Prohibition of Electronic Cigarette Act, particularly in relation to the online sales and digital promotion. And it has been very well highlighted by my previous speaker, Mr. Cyril, also. As we all aware, digital media has transformed the way the tobacco and nicotine products are marketed, and especially to youth and adolescent. And Dr. PC Gupta has very well highlighted how these smelly product has been changed, converted into flavored and the products so that it can attract youth. So social media's networking site allow marketing to be personalized, visually appealing, making them especially powerful platform for influencing youth. And with context to India, this is particularly a concern because a large percentage, that is 67% of internet user, are in the age group of 12 to 29 years of age group. And social media enables low cost cross border marketing and advertisement, and which now are replacing the traditional marketing with the peer like interaction, and which is very much influence the youth. So the evidence also shows that the e-cigarette are often portrayed as a trendy, modern, and less harmful. And such marketing has been associated with the favorable perception and increased experimentation among the youth. And it is also serve as a gateway product, increasing the likelihood of never a smoker to initiate tobacco. So it is very important to recognize that e-cigarette are not harmless products, as that is the general notion, and they has been usually promoted as a cessation or the harm reduction tool, which is not exactly the truth. And because there are several scientific evidence, several systematic reviews, ICMR white paper, and other public health reports has linked the use of e-cigarette to several adverse health outcomes, including respiratory and the cardiovascular effect, mental health concern, and also if we're talking with regard to the youth, so it affect the young brain development, and it also increases the harm during adolescent and the pregnancy. So another critical concern is that e-cigarette may increase the risk of dual use and future smoking, because it has been considered as a gateway product. So this is not only a marketing issue, but it is a very important public health concern, and especially among youth and the adolescent. Considering this as a public health issue globally, governments are acting to protect youth from e-cigarettes. So, if you can see the data on this slide, so as per the 2025 data by Global Center for Good Governance in Tobacco Control, so 46 countries have banned the sale distribution on of e-cigarettes. 82 countries allow sale of e-cigarette but regulate their sale and distribution. 43 countries regulate nicotine and other content of the e-cigarette, and 19 countries ban use of flavor characterize flavors. And India has done a remarkable effort in this regard by banning the complete uh, uh, advertisement, promotion, and the sponsorship of the ends under the PECA 2019, as Professor Dr. Rakesh Gupta has also highlighted about the same. But as you see, there is a variation in the regulatory environment globally. So it creates an opportunity for the cross-border marketing and access, especially through the digital platform to youth. While talking about India's efforts, and my previous speakers has also highlighted about these efforts. So in 2019, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare they enforced PECA, which covers all forms of e-cigarette, including the electronic nicotine delivery system, heat not to burn products, e-hookah. So the act prohibits any advertisements or sale of e-cigarettes across all media, including electronic media, internet, website, social media, with violation subject to penalties. And Section 4 prohibits individual from participating in any advertisement that directly or indirectly promote the use of e-cigarette. And it also ban both direct as well as the indirect selling or distribution of e-cigarette, including the free sample. Another effort in 2022 taken by the Ministry of Consumer Affairs by issuing the guidelines for prevention of misleading advertisements and endorsement for misleading advertisement by the Central Consumer Protection Authority, that is CCPA, which also completely prohibit advertisements of the banned products. So the guidelines also prevents false and misleading advertisement and also the endorsement. And several other efforts, including the Consumer Protection Act, Information Technology Act, and also the Drug and Cosmetic Act, as Dr. Rakesh Gupta has also highlighted. So, so despite these enabling environment. Those studies conducted after the enactment of PECA 2019. So these several study they have reported the availability of e-cigarette in the major Indian cities. And also these e-cigarettes are sold through retail shops, underground market, and the also online majorly. So, with this background, the study was conducted by PHFI in 2022 after the ban of e-cigarette to assess the compliance of PECA in prohibiting online sales and advertisement of electronic cigarette. More specifically, we wanted to understand how e-cigarette continue to be promoted or sold through digital spaces despite our national ban, and where the enforcement loopholes may lie. So, talking about bit of methodology, what we have followed in this study. So, we used a mixed method approach. This was a cross-sectional study, and the first approach we followed, conducting an online survey with college going youth in the age group of 18 to 24 years. And these were pan India study. So these youth were recruited from all geographical regions of India. And the total sample size were 340 college going youth. And the aim of the survey was with these youth to assess their understanding and awareness regarding the e-cigarette, a source of information where they heard about the e-cigarette, and to identify the common influencer they have heard promoting e-cigarette, and the online or the e-stores promoting or selling these products on various social networking site. And the second, we carried out influencer analysis using the public profile that promoted vaping through uh, uh, hashtags and the keywords. And we also mapped e-stores that were promoting or selling e-cigarette online. So, before moving to the study findings, I know most of us are familiar, but here I would like to highlight actually what is covered under the PECA, the definition of e-cigarette, which has been defined under the PECA. So, electronic cigarette means a electronic device that heats a substance with or without nicotine and flavors to create a aerosol or for inhalation, or and includes all forms of ends, heat, not burn product, e-hookah, and the like devices by whatever name and whatever shape, size, or form it may have, but does not include any product licensed under the Drugs and Cosmetic Act. So this is how the e-cigarette has been covered and included under the PECA Act. So now talking about the finding of the survey conducted with the youth. One of the clearest finding from the youth survey was that social media has become the primary source of awareness for all these banned products. So overall, 55.4% of youth were aware of e-cigarette and the vaping product. We also found that awareness was significantly higher among the female college going students who participated in our study. And among the youth who were aware of the e-cigarette, 67.3% of them heard about the e-cigarette from the social networking site as the main source of information about these, with Instagram receiving the highest percentage, followed by the Facebook, Telegram, and the Twitter. So these findings highlight that social media has definitely replaced the traditional marketing as the primary educator or sensitization about these banned product. While awareness of e-cigarettes was substantial, awareness of about the PECA was remarkably low among the study participant. A large proportion of youth, that is 93.2%, were unaware of the PECA and about its various provisions. Only those who are aware, only 20% were informed about the different penalties under the PECA Act. So, the findings highlight a major knowledge gap. Youth may know about the product, but not about the legal restriction or the public health rationale behind banning these products. So, a total of 189 influencers on the Instagram were identified from the survey, as well as the desk review, which has been undertaken by the research team, study research team, promoting e-cigarette on their account. Among the identified influencer, only 2% had a verified account. So, as per the information mentioned on the influencers account, maximum of them were reported from the USA, followed by Indonesia and Italy. And only 1% of the influencer belonged to India. So, this suggests that the content reaching to the Indian youth is often border in origin. So, combined reach of these 189 influencers, which we have analyzed through this study, and those are promoting e-cigarette, was 71 million. So most of them were the micro influencer, but together they created a very large promotional network where they have promoted the product to these youth especially. And the identified influencer belong to various background, and majority of them they identified themselves as a video or the content creator, as you can see from the this figure. So, talking about the brand endorsement and the paid partnership, in 81% percent of posts, the brand name of the e-cigarette was visible, and most of the brands originate from countries such as China, USA, UK, but none were found from India. These brands were found from India in our study. So this suggests that the promotional content may often appear organic or personal even when it function as advertising. So another important finding was the poor quality and limited presence of these health warnings. Only 21% of the post uh, included a warning, and even these were often vague or very misleading. The commonly reported warning were related to age, and some framed vaping as a way to quit smoking, which can misleading about these product, because and this is concerning because the absence of a clear warning on these product may further normalize their use and reduce the perceived risk among particularly among the youth. Most influencer they portrayed e-cigarette very positively. Nearly 70% of gave a positive image about these product, while about 30% were neutral, and none highlighted the negative effects of the e-cigarette. So the most common positive portrayal were that vaping is trendy, cool, and associated with pleasure or the other factors, and linked with the product features and the specification. So, but on the other hand side, the claims related to cessation or the cost effectiveness were very less, but still present in some of these product. We also identified 83 e-store, both nationally and internationally, selling or promoting these e-cigarette to Indian consumers. And these stores were either accessible through Google search or Instagram links or the Facebook. Uh, a striking finding was that a substantial proportion of these stores had been established after 2019, that after the ban of PECA enforced. And so this very well definitely suggests that online commerce continue to bypass despite the legal prohibitions. Talking about the youth appealing flavors and deceptive claims, and which Dr. PC Gupta has also highlighted. So, on e-stores, flavors were a major part of the product appeal. Fruits, desserts, and candy flavors were especially prominent, followed by the menthol. So these stores also made misleading promotional claims, with many portraying the product as healthy or safe, and some falsely presenting them as a cessation aid. So such claims can be particularly influential for young users, and they can also start experimenting after seeing these appealing flavors and other claims. So we found that age verification on e-store was generally weak and ineffective. only near about 40% of the store required any age verification at the entry. And in most cases, this was simply a self declaration or self verification through a tick box or check box while entering or purchasing from these e stores. So, only two stores in our study reported asking for a photo ID verification and the on delivery. So this finding very well highlighted that age gating often serve as a symbolic safeguard than a real barrier to youth access. Based on these study findings, we propose several recommendations to strengthen the implementation of PECA. Definitely, there is a need for high-level interministerial task force to ensure the coordinated implementation, strict monitoring, and enforcement so that youth can be protected and we can achieve a path to tobacco free generation. Second, strong provisions are needed to restrict the influencer from promoting and popularizing these e-cigarette and vaping among youth. And third, the border and the custom protocols need to be strengthened to identify and restrict international e-commerce products to these to our countries or any other countries where these are banned, because we can these study findings reported that most of these influencer as well as e-store, they are not from India, but they are from internationally. And in addition, national health programs can also be leveraged to improve the awareness among adolescents. Existing school health program under the Ayushman Bharat, the Rashtriya Kishore Swasthya Karyakram, and the other adolescent health programs or the National Tobacco School Health Program under the National Tobacco Control Program can also be used to sensitize youth about both health risk as well as the legal reality of these e-cigarette products or the nicotine products. And also, it is also important to ensure a strict implementation of tobacco-free educational institutional guidelines under the National Tobacco Control Program, and to develop a strong media counter narratives that directly challenge the myth of safe vaping. These efforts should not engage only youth, but also parents, teachers, other public health officials. And Cyril has also highlighted about the efforts undertaken about sensitizing these officials at their state level. So these sensitization efforts are very much needed. So thank you all and thanks for listening.
Thank you, Dr. Shalini. Thanks for sharing the finding of the study. No, it was conducted by PHFI. That was titled as Unveiling the Digital Landscape of Electronic Cigarettes Marketing in India. And now, actually, right now, about 34 countries have banned electronic cigarettes comprehensively. And as you rightly said, that PECA 2019 CCPA guidelines, the 90 Act, Drug and Control, and the Cosmetic Act, they can be used against electronic cigarettes. We have very successfully, actually, almost 18 states that they have already used the provisions available in the Drug and Cosmetic Act before it was comprehensively banned in India. And you also pointed out that there's poor compliance of PECA 2019, and these are available physically as well as most of the times it is available online. And there are about 189 influencers on social media, mostly from foreign countries. So thanks for highlighting the details of the study. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gupta.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for taking this session. Uh, I would like to invite Dr. Shubham for this session. Just give me a second. I'll just Yeah. So I would like to invite Dr. Shiva, who is the technical advisor at STOP, India and Global Monitoring Division at Vital Strategies. He will be giving his talk on the global policy and market landscape of oral nicotine pouches. Sir, Dr. Shiva, are you there?
Uh, Thank you, Dr. Paridhi. Yes, I'm here. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. The entire team of Sipher, Dr. Rakesh, especially for taking the lead in organizing this very important webinar. Pardon me for some background noise. Actually, I'm joining from the airport, so there might be some background noise, but I'll try to make it uh, crisp, and I've been given 15 minutes. I'll try, we have a good discussion at the end of it. So my topic for today is global policy and market landscape of nicotine pouches. And I'll be speaking briefly, introducing what is nicotine pouch, and then taking on to the marketing and the policy landscape globally, and then also in India. So I think nicotine pouches, if we look at the product and the market currently, it's a global more than $2 billion market, and it is kind of similar to HTP market, wherein we see that the transnational tobacco companies dominate it since they have shifted their interest from primarily manufacturing novel tobacco to now novel nicotine products. And when we see the major players, PMI leads this race, followed by BAT and Altria. And when we talk about the products, I think PMI Zin and followed by BAT's Velo are the leading products in this. When we look at the pouches as such, what exactly are they are basically claimed to deliver nicotine via oral mucosa, and they are marketed as tobacco free or smoke free products or alternates. uh, you know uh, the source, when we see on these products, what exactly is the nicotine. So it's two forms: either they say it's tobacco derived or synthetic nicotine, and the product labels vary in accuracy. When I say accuracy, whenever the trials are done regarding the content, there is variation about what they claim and what is inside. The other constituents apart from the nicotine powder in it that is claimed is some fillers, some pH modifiers, flavors, and preservatives. And when we look at the strength of these pouches, it is wide varying, ranging from zero point 0.5 milligram to more than 30 milligram per pouch. And when we see the packaging, it's mostly like a small round cylindrical bottle or kind of a dispenser that contains nearly 10 to 30 pouches in a packet. So hence the high, content of nicotine in it in one delivery, and similarly in one packaging. Now, talking about the health risk globally, there are long-term risks associated with it because the prime ingredient is nicotine. The population level effects depend on uptake. Even since its use is not primarily associated only as a cessation kind of product, because it's taken as a gateway as well nowadays. So its effects are still under scrutiny, and it's not considered a safe product as such. It has all the concerns that a person with nicotine addiction has. On all the parts of a body, I think that is already discussed earlier in the webinar. Now, talking about the demographic use patterns, we have two surveys and GATs that are already done, which country-wise survey that ask question regarding the awareness and current use of nicotine. So these are done in Georgia and Panama, and I'm just showcasing the two questions that are asked in GATs from their survey, which talk about their awareness and their use. That's it. When we talk about the global, adult tobacco survey, and if we look at the findings from Georgia, they reveal that around 12% of awareness overall, and also showcases around 0.4% of current users in the country. Now, when we look at the other country, we've got some data which is from regional or national surveys from few countries. So just showcasing that from Pakistan, youth survey within 10 to 16 years old has shown that nearly similar gender ratio, that is 3.4 to 2.7% of use. And in China, what was found is that 70% of the users were between 25 to 40 years, with Gen Z exhibiting fastest growth. And in Mexico, again, students, when the survey was done, nearly 0.21% of student consuming this has been found. And again, overall, looking at the tactics, the marketing tactics are mostly towards youth and not as a drug or a cessation kind of alternative. When we look at the global map here, and we talk about Pakistan specifically, there's little domestic production and mostly it's import. And within the country, because it's our neighbor, so I'm talking about that, nicotine pouches are mostly popular, and specifically Velo, which is British American Tobacco's product, is quite popular. And e-cigarette market is quite growing in Pakistan, which is alarming even for us, because this was the similar pattern that we saw in e-cigarette. Now, talking about what kind of brands are most prevalent in countries, so we have Zin and Velo that are the most commonest brand. But if we see, there's a wide range, and when we talk about who's manufacturing it, there are companies which are outside the big tobacco ambit also. And if I just focus on India, these are the products that we can find online as well, which are the hot sellers. Now, I'm just showing the findings from a survey that was done in Pakistan from Hopkins. And what we see is that the study revealed that nearly 22% of the tobacco vendors across 8 cities had Velo products displayed at the point of sale, and nearly 13% of the tobacco vendors had advertisements for Velo posted at point of sale. So, this is the kind of prevalence which we are dealing in our neighboring country. When we talk about what kind of flavors are there, so all this was taking the study to the next step. This study took 10 variants of Velo in Karachi, and these were actually sampled. And what was found out that all these 10 variants contain significant level of flavor chemicals, and the brand variants with wide descriptors of mint, frost, and blast, they contain the highest level of menthol, while the other brand variants such as Strong Pan, Rush, Elaichi Blast, they exhibited the highest level of OFC, that is the other flavor chemicals. Now, I'll talk about what are the marketing and messaging around ONPs that we are seeing. And across countries, we are seeing most common marketing and messaging, which is youth oriented, especially with the use of social media, influencers, flavors, and branded, funded events, which are again attracting a lot of youth crowd. Pouches are marketed as a product that people can use to get nicotine hit in places where smoking and vaping are not even allowed, or they have, countries who have laws for it. Pouches are finding their market in those areas. And the discrete use messaging has most alarming being used as an argument for not banning pouches, in Ukraine, so that soldiers in combat can use to avoid detection. So these are specific example, and what is, in current times to attract Gen Z, use of techie, modern images, narratives run through PR funded campaign is what we are seeing these days. And there are a lot of manipulated cessation narratives that go around. And apart from it claiming to be an alternate to tobacco cessation, there are other not narratives around it that it makes you it's more like anti-anxiety, and it can help you relieve stress. It can help you focus at your work. So these are the narratives that are, flourishing around. So, these are some of the images. You can see one of the Pakistani influencer and then a TikTok from Indonesia. If we talk about the policy landscape, there's a wide diversity. Some countries are treating it, as a consumer product, while some are treating as medicine and NRT and then trying to regulate it. While some of them have a ban, others regulate them via some kind of specific tobacco or specific nicotine laws. So here's a picture of a global policy scan of 45 countries, and what we see is now this is a data from dating back from to August 15, 2025. So there might be some more changes, but I'm quoting a date here. So what we see is the categorization of the type of regulation of pouches is around 21 countries regulate it as tobacco or related products. You can see this is the longest list, including United States, Thailand, Serbia, Poland, Philippines. Then they followed by 10 countries that prohibit the sale by law. This includes Russia, Lithuania, Germany. Then followed by 6 countries that regulate it as medicinal or pharmaceutical product, but it is not an approved product, right? So this is sold like that, and somewhere it is regulated as well as a pharmaceutical or but it is not yet approved. Then in Canada, it is regulated and approved as a natural health product, while its sale is prohibited by law in Vietnam. Now, when we see these countries under the lens of supply and demand reduction, there are a lot of measures under which they have, pouches are regularized, I could say, such as among 8 countries, there is prohibited misleading packaging in 8 countries, followed by prohibiting attractive ingredients in 8 countries. And then there are 7 countries that require health warnings as well. So then there are indoor use restrictions, by some countries, followed by countries like Denmark that require plain packaging of pouches, and then country like Slovenia that require prohibition on advertising of pouches. Now, when we see specific policy updates in certain countries, like from Bangladesh, there is what we saw is that to include ONP in the amendments to the tobacco control law, which is currently being considered by Parliament for a ban. Then in country like Brazil, there while it is effectively banned, the National Health Surveillance Agency has included ONP as a part of regulatory agenda. That's where we see the kind of interference happening as well. Country like China, it brought ONP under the tobacco monopoly regulation, again opening a path for domestic manufacturing, which is alarming. In a country like Mexico, debate started over taxing ONP versus including it as a part of constitutional ban that covers newer products already like HTP and e-cigarettes. Now, to talk about India and Pakistan, there is movement at the subnational level to regulate or ban nicotine pouches, and here's a great example from India, where the state of Tamil Nadu has taken the lead, where we have this notification that came a month back, nearly a month back, or 2 months back, where the state drug controller of Tamil Nadu issued a public notice against the manufacture, storage, sale, and use of ONP, and even went to an extent to issue show cause notice to the oral tobacco dealers, including the ones which are online. So that's a great example, calling this product as they are not approved in the country and questioning its safety, efficacy, and quality. Now, talking India specifically, we have the act, but COTPA does not regulate tobacco products. When we talk about PECA, it bans e-cigarettes and ends, but nicotine pouches are not explicitly covered. But we also see there's a tactic that is being used by pharmaceutical companies, and there are currently talks around it when we see by CDSCO or DTAB and DCC, and exploring those meeting minutes which are publicly available, there are talks about nicotine and other products and the dosage forms, which is primarily restricted to the nicotine gums. But this is the recent DTAB minutes, which was held on Feb 16, that has strictly called that only nicotine gum, which is unflavored and 2 milligram, can be made available at over the counter, while any other form of NRT that should include things like pouches, there it's not allowed to be called to be available as over the counter while it is selling already. And also marketing of NRT by tobacco industry may be restricted due to significant conflict of interest. So I think this is a great example and great discussions that are happening in our country. To talk about industry tactics to undermine policy market, I think we have a lot of examples where it's trying to circumvent health authorities, it's trying to exploit legal and regulatory ambiguities. There's direct policy influence also happening. Talking about few specific examples, I think the example from there's a lot of movement because there's legal ambiguity in many countries, especially over if pouches fit under current definitions and regulations. We see a bit of wild west marketing, and we see similar examples the way tobacco tactics have worked. These are the front groups which are playing the same role in nicotine tactics as well. So taking the example from Bangladesh, the Economic Zone Authority approved PMI's ONP factory for country sale without consultation with Ministry of Health. This was again circumventing the health authority. Then example from Pakistan, that is at the request of industry. The Pakistan Standards and Quality Control Authority is currently working to convert a voluntary standard for ONPs into a mandatory standard that the industry argues would prevent substandard or smuggled products. The other example is to exploiting legal ambiguity to sell and promote products. Like in Mexico, tobacco control advocates ended up calling out industry promotion in convenience stores, including distributing free samples to the youth, despite legal prohibition on marketing. And in Philippines, tobacco control advocates had to file a complaint with the industry and trade over Zin marketing, which is again illegal under their regulatory act. In Bangladesh, organizations are closely aligned with industry, such as Policy Exchange Bangladesh or harm reduction bodies that publish research and keep on submitting letters to the government and trying to push PR campaigns or lobbying against the already existing bans. So I'd like to conclude that what we are seeing is that big tobacco is trying to turn into big nicotine now, and it's happening all over around us. So it's better to keep on monitoring and flagging. And I think more and more states should take the example that probably Tamil Nadu has shown us. The way forward, probably we need at global level more of evidence-based policy formulation. I showed few countries, but I think we need more countries because the number is more when we see who are parties to FCTC. But for when we see the policy landscape around newer products, especially nicotine pouches, the regulations are needed at this point, which are more evidence based, and we need to look at how industry and front groups are trying to target youth. So I think countering this kind of information asymmetry across the globe is the need of the hour. So I'll stop here and I'll be happy to discuss and answer any questions. Thank
So
you.
thank you, Dr. Shiva, for this comprehensive presentation. This was on global policy and marketing landscapes of oral nicotine pouches. And it is really surprising that it is a $2 billion market already, $2 billion marketing. And the transnational tobacco companies, they are dominating the sales, and in fact on the manufacturing also. And I may tell you that we found, actually the Sipher found that as high as 40 milligram pouches are also available per pouch. You told that 30 milligram, but as high as 40 milligram pouches, they are also available, and they contain the fillers, the flavors, the preservatives. So thanks a lot, Dr. Shivam, for making a very comprehensive presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for joining in and giving this very quick but very vital presentation. So thank you for that. I would now like to invite Dr. Rana J. Singh, who is the Director of Tobacco Control for the Southeast Asia under the Vital Strategies. He's also a chief guest. Sir, if you can just address the crowd.
Yes, thank you. So am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
You're
you're audible. You're audible.
Okay. So thank you, Dr. Priti. So first of all, thanks to Dr. Rakesh Gupta and team from Sipher for organizing this very important discussion. I see many international participants also. So thanks to RCTC, GSA, and ECO for this consultation.
And Dr. Rana, I may tell you that it is being organized by the Tobacco Control Section of the Union.
Yes, Tobacco Control Section of the Union, yes. Respected Dr. P.C. Gupta ji, who has already given that why this epidemic is really unfolding. So what is the important reasons? So all the speakers, Dr. Cyril, Dr. Shalini, Dr. Shivam Kapoor, so they have already shared with us the problem statement. What is the current burden of e-cigarette and oral nicotine pouches? What is the current maybe landscape? What are the current laws? Again, as far as control of these two products is concerned. So we heard that as from Dr. Shalini that e-cigarette is now almost banned. Sales in almost 46 countries and 80 plus other countries, they have some kind of regulatory measures. As far as nicotine oral pouches are concerned, so again, 12 countries have banned and 35 plus countries have regulatory measures in place. You see, personally, I am very sad to hear this whole story from all the speakers, especially when we have been working in tobacco control for the last almost now more than 2 decades. The situation is really very alarming. All the achievements of tobacco control, they have been almost decimated. Almost, you can say, all the empower measures and achievements of FCTC. Now we find really very challenging. And what I have seen in last almost, if I look at about last 1 year, so earlier we used to do most of our meetings, conferences on tobacco control, status of empower implementation, status of various elements of empower package, FCTC. So now you see most of our discussions here. So now I think in last year in 2025 there were almost 10 webinars or global meetings which I attended on only this aspect of our addiction. Personally, I feel that now how I should look at tobacco use prevalence in a country. For example, in USA, now it's an international webinar, so we should also look at a global perspective. So now, for example, in USA, the tobacco use prevalence is 18.8% roughly. And now, as far as vaping, the people who have used e-cigarettes at least once in a month, So almost 22%. So how I should look at prevalence of tobacco use or nicotine use in any country, even in our own country, in India, in our other countries of our region. So 28.6% is tobacco use prevalence, and now GATS and other studies will show us, and maybe studies by other experts will show us. Dr. Shalini has already shared a few studies. So now how we should be looking at the prevalence of tobacco or nicotine in our country. So we are eagerly waiting for GATS 3 in India itself. So 28.6% was prevalence, even if it has been reduced. So we need to see how much addition has been done by end users or by ONPs. So this is how we look at, we need to look at now our burden of tobacco and nicotine use. So I think speakers have already shared all the important information as far as these two products is concerned, and digital landscape. We always, you see, earlier the strategy of tobacco sale was, we call it as brick and mortar sales, where a physical presence of a point of sale is required. Point of sale, where a user or a seller and user, they are face to face, and they discuss the product. But now that has moved to digital commerce, and I have liked one point from Mr. Cyril, that now digital media or e-stores, they have become point of sale. So it's not point of sale, it is only that physical store. So now they are also acting as point of sale for tobacco industry for these products. So this is important, I think, point which has now emerged. So challenges we have already discussed. So one is definitely persistence, availability despite bans. 46 countries, despite ban, the products are available despite strict bans. India law is very comprehensive, which prohibits e-cigarettes at all levels, but the product remains available online stores. Similarly, marketing tactics. So Dr. P.C. Gupta ji has highlighted very important point, flavors. And Dr. Shalini has also shared other what are the marketing tactics like trendy and cools, and numerous flavors which are available, offering them as suggestion aids. So these are various marketing tactics which are really being used by tobacco industry. Then cross-border. So now it's a global webinar, global consultation. So cross-border marketing is another very important aspect to this whole problem of digital marketing. ONP, oral nicotine pouches, for which we again you see both Mr. Cyril and Dr. Cyril and Dr. Shivam has already shared a lot of information with us. Rapid market growth in just a few years. And if we look at about last 2 years, it's almost 250% growth of ONPs between January 2023 to August 2025. And largely it is high content of nicotine, which Dr. Gupta and they have shared that up to 40 milligram. I have also heard about 50 mcg. So this is something which is very high content of nicotine in all those those products. So you see, these are all the challenges right now which we are having, and now what are the solutions? I first of all, there is why law is necessitated in all those, whether it was earlier tobacco control, and now there are many countries now who have some kind of laws which bans products, and some other countries which have regulation. And the principle is very clear. If there is a law, it has to be enforced. If there is a law, it has to be enforced. Simple IC, simple awareness generation is not alternative to the enforcement. So we must have, first of all, if we do not have law, we need to update legal frameworks. If in any country there are some digital marketing legislations are not there, so how we can bring them those legislations in our respective countries. And if we already have them and we need to study them, we need to update all those legal frameworks which prohibit, which can enforce all those legislations. Secondly, surveillance. So surveillance is very important. Although few studies have already been shared, enhanced digital surveillance is very, very important. We need to increase all those surveillances at all level, whether it is to, for example, those countries which say no sale to minors. So how that we will be able to have, how we can have robust age verification systems in place if we have regulatory measures. Then maybe these days artificial intelligence or web surveillance is again now it is being used. So I think there are other ways of putting in place all those system. And third one is definitely is about cross-border and issues, both related to advertisement as well as related to some kind of enforcement. So these are some important measures which all countries should take. And finally, because now it's when we always say why FCTC was a global treaty was necessitated, same applies here also. So we need to have foster maybe some kind of global and interstate coordination mechanisms where countries can share data, where cross-border advertising bans. So all those collaborations and coordination mechanisms should also be in place. So in that way, I think challenge is really very, very huge. Still, we are not very clear, but definitely it's enforcement. We have legislations, and then we need to see how we can enforce the current legislations. And for that, if we have laws, it's good. If we do not have legal frameworks, so we need to develop those and implement them also. So this is all at this stage. Once again, congratulations to the organizers, Sipher and tobacco control section of the union. Personally, very challenging and feeling very sad as far as me is concerned. So let's hope that 2026 will be some better year for us, for stopping these menaces.
I think we lost it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Is summarizing the issue of electronic cigarettes and the oral nicotine pouches, which are the upcoming menaces, and also the way forward, telling us the way forward. So thanks a lot. So over to Dr. Paridhi, please.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Dr. Rana, for giving your address. We are honored to have Dr. Wasim from SDPI Pakistan in this meeting with us. So would you like to address the crowd, Dr. Wasim?
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
My apologies, I'll not be able to turn on the camera because this laptop just shuts down when I turn on the camera. But anyway, thank you so very much. Thank you, Sipher. Thank you, Dr. Gupta Saab and Dr. Preeti for organizing such a wonderful webinar and informative webinar. I just want to say that this, in a way, it was a surprise for me because I mean, I always give the example, good examples of India where these products are banned. I mean, and the e-cigarettes are banned. And I always, say that it's such a big country, but still, they've enforced a ban. Why we are not following the good example? But the way the speakers Dr. Cyril, Dr. Shalini, and Dr. Shivam have talked about these products. And just like Dr. Rana also said, this is really shocking. This is a sad part that the tobacco industry is, making its way despite our best efforts, to control all these products. I just want to add a few things that. One is that Dr. Shivam has mentioned a study from Pakistan. We have, and he talked about PSQCA. I just want to update our friends in India that yes, there is an industrial effort to get these products regulated. Right now, Pakistan has not regulated e-cigarettes or those nicotine pouches. So PSQCA actually came up with a huge proposal, and we could, looking at it, very clearly tell that this was an industry's proposal, and where this proposal is coming from. So we, actually have quite rigorous review and mechanisms, especially the Drugs Regulatory Authority of Pakistan, who are basically working under the Ministry of Health, and they are the ones who are the custodians of standards, health standards, especially for consumables. So they pointed out something very interesting, and that in a way links us back to India also. There's a 1930 law of the poisonous drugs and poisonous substances. So that law is still implemented in Pakistan. Although we have updated it in 1976 and 1958, 1976, and then different provinces have done it in 2008 and 2019 onwards. But yeah, that law is very, very comprehensive, and it clearly tells us that nicotine is a poison and has a hazardous substance. So actually, the draft, they actually raised this concern, and now this matter is under discussion, technical discussion, between the Ministry of Health and Ministry of Sciences and Technology, which has issued PSQCA under the industry. But overall, I think there is also a gap in coordination, cross-border coordination, as pointed out by almost all the speakers, that this is not a local issue. It is a universal issue, and industry, wherever it finds a gap, it will promote its products. And for your information, and I'm sure most of you know, that Pakistan has become one of the largest producers of nicotine pouches over the past few years. And British American Tobacco, the Velo, is a product of Pakistan. They are producing it in a factory in Pakistan, and this is being exported besides other places to Japan. So you can well imagine that what kind of production is what quantum of production is happening here in Pakistan. So we need to be alert. We need to come up with coordination mechanisms whereby at least regionally or even beyond region, globally, we can coordinate. And I was really happy to listen to Dr. Shalini, her study on online, and we are also thinking about a study on the similar lines as to how the influencers, they promote these. Overall, thank you so much again, Dr. Gupta Saab and Sipher and Dr. Preeti for sending me the invitation, and I'm always glad and happy to join you people and listen to your wonderful thoughts. Thank you, Rana Saab. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Jajwa, for letting us know about the situation in Pakistan. It was very revealing that it is the largest producer of oral nicotine pouches already. So that is really sad about it. So thank you. So Dr. Rakesh Gupta is also with us. So do you want to share some just for a minute here?
Yes, for a minute only.
Yeah.
So thanks, Dr. Rakesh ji and ECO and other participating agencies. And my best compliments to all the presenters. It has been a very useful, educative, and informative session with the inputs specifically coming from all the presenters, Cyril, Shalini, and Shivam. I consider that it's a tsunami which is building up actually over the tobacco control or the tobacco issue as such. And you can also take it as an analogy, another analogy, that there is a boat called tobacco control and there is a big leak in it now. And how do we seal it is a very big challenge for us. So I consider that solutions as such, if we will keep looking at the micro level, yes, there can be many, but there will also be challenges and barriers to those. I consider we must continue to work and demand for zero prevalence of the use of non-therapeutic nicotine products. If we can do that along with the tobacco products, perhaps that's where we will be able to win over the problem. We must not be wasting too much time beating around the bush. That's my thought. And I have that conviction, which I have been telling already. So please do consider that as one of the recommendations. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your words. I would also invite Dr. Shekhar Grover from CHIP Foundation, if he would like to say a few words as well. Shekhar, are you there?
Mr. Susan has also raised hand.
Okay, I think when sir joins, we can just go back to him. Dr. Susan, anything from your end, ma'am?
Very good afternoon.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Is anyone talking?
No, you can go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. I just have 3 points to kind of draw attention on, and I'm going to kind of take it forward from meaning the presentation from Dr. Shalini and Dr. Shivam, and especially where it talks about circumventing the health officials. So, and we're talking about OTT platform that where the influence is maximum. So, I have observed, and I've been studying this for a while, and I've seen that OTT platforms like let's say Instagram and Facebook are used for the network and for those who are like consuming, meaning the youngsters or the Gen Z as we talk about. But there's one important lobbying that is being done, and we need to take this very seriously on the LinkedIn for influencers, meaning influencing policymakers and especially medicos in terms of using it as a harm reduction strategy or as an alternative strategy against smoking. Okay, so there's one, and also I think one of the presentations, Dr. Shalini was talking about having studied 83 or 87 manufacturers in India and across, and there's one called the brand Dholakia Tobacco. I'm going to go a little specific so that you can see that on Instagram also, where they are promoting it as a harm reduction strategy. They also congratulated the Sweden country for going all smoke free and switching on to nicotine pouches specifically. So this following to it, Dr. Shivam was talking about changing the narratives. We need to create a narrative against this. So we are talking about enforcement and laws, which is where we have been very pro since 2019 in terms of e-cigarettes and nicotine pouches ban, meaning dealt in Tamil Nadu, which is a very commendable step to take. But the informal networks in terms of Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and now even LinkedIn used to influence people not only from national forums, but also people coming in from WHO and talking about it as harm reduction strategy and stuff like that, meaning ex-medicos and ex-officials. So this needs to be dealt with or taken up as with partnering countries and with partners from other countries also at an international forum in terms of giving the reality of e-cigarettes and nicotine pouches. Also, one major observation that I came across is that the government of India, or there are certain MSME. So these are small entrepreneurship loans that are being given for opening nicotine pouch industry, meaning a small scale industry. So we are not now restricted to only nicotine pouches as consumers or as harm reduction strategies or as over the counter issue or dealing with medicos, but this is becoming an issue wherein we are also looking at that from the commerce point of view, from the industry point of view. So I have seen a couple of YouTube videos wherein they're giving loans for starting a startup in producing nicotine pouches. So if we can address that as well. So that was my 3 observations that I wanted to share. We definitely need to create a narrative, and just as Dr. Gupta also said, it is a tsunami, and what we are dealing with right now, it is exponentially growing month by month, week by week, and by the time we have had some laws or some strategy to deal with it, I think the manifold growth is something that we still are not clear as to how it will be. Just as Dr. Rana said, we are saddened, that all of the 20 years of tobacco control work that we have done is taken up in a tsunami of nicotine pouches and e-cigarettes. So yes, we have to counter this in a very big way and very fast as well. Thank you so much for giving me this time.
Thank you,
These are
Susan.
my
I will
observations.
let everyone know that Susan is doing an extremely good job in Gujarat. Her Faith Foundation is helping government a lot on this issue of the electronic cigarettes especially. And I think the Tamil Nadu notification will act like a ripple. It will have a ripple effect on other states also. And as happened with the electronic cigarettes, these products also will be banned. And I may let you know that the MSMEs are being given loans for the nicotine pouches. And the pouches alone, not the nicotine content in it. So
no,
I think
for establishing
the Dholkia products, they are available for nicotine only the pouches.
Yes, only nicotine pouches. Their product is Rush, and they are actually promoting it as a harm reduction strategy.
So nicotine is there in the pouches.
Not
only the
I don't know
pouches.
from the product analysis point of view.
I think
They
it is
mention
only the
it as no
pouches.
nicotine, no tobacco on their product.
Okay.
So you never know what is
Thanks
the
for sharing
product.
the observations.
Thank you.
So, Dr. Paridhi, if time allows, you can give 1 minute each to everyone.
If anyone else would like to, just put their points or would like to ask any questions as well, the floor is open for 2 minutes. Any questions, any comments? Dr. Aruna, yes, ma'am. Would you like to say?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Thanks for the
Just take
valuable
a minute.
discussion.
Just take
Yeah,
a
yeah,
minute.
sir. Sir, actually, what about the e-smoke accessory shops are there? E-shops, then where they're even in the websites are there. In their websites, they're promoting the e-liquids and everything like e-shisha, e-hookah, and all the accessories, pens are also available. And where they are available also, like they're promoting in their website also.
Yeah, no, actually, Cyril and Shalini, they have already shared the issue. And you see the enforcement of the law in India, especially, is very poor, like all other countries also.
So
it
even
it is the issue of the enforcement. The laws
and
are
they're
good.
very much proximal to the schools and colleges, sir, indeed.
Yeah. So that is why the way forward is that we must enforce the law and also take that toffee guidelines seriously. All the schools, all the education institutes must take those guidelines very seriously. So thank you, Dr.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Dr. Dilip, do you want to share something?
Yeah. Very good afternoon to all of you. I must say that it has been a very informative session. I would just like to point out here that nicotine pouches which help people, academicians, ICMR should study content. And then after that only we can work on it. And we should try to include that in the PECA 2019 rules, regulations, so that it can be banned again. And one more point, because we have already been talked about, we must all try and see that the law PECA is implemented in full. Because the electronic cigarettes are very easily available everywhere nowadays also.
Yes. So I may tell you, Dr. Dilip, that these can be covered under the Drugs and Cosmetics Act.
Dr. Dilip, your voice.
Yeah, it has been covered. I know it very well, but so we should work on it again. How to go about it, how to enforce law. That's the mainly thing is.
The recommendations have already been sent by Sipher
Yes.
against the oral nicotine pouches being under the Drug and Cosmetics Act. Yeah, we have already sent the recommendations. Yeah. So I think, Dr. Bhargav, you can just proceed with the formal vote of thanks.
Sure, sir. Thank you, Dr. Dilip, for your comments. So thank you, everyone, for joining today's online consultation. I would like to thank all our speakers, Dr. Cyril, Dr. Shalini, Dr. Shivam, Dr. Rakesh Gupta, and our chief guest, Dr. Rana J. Singh, for their comments and their presentations. Thank you so much for taking out the time.
Dr. PC Gupta also spoke about it.
Yes, sir, just coming to him, sir. Yeah. Thank you for taking out the time to address the participants. A special shout out to Dr. PC Gupta, Dr. Wasim, Dr. Aruna, Dr. Susan, or Dr. Dilip, and Dr. Rakesh Gupta from Rajasthan to give for sharing their comments. Thank you to our participants who have joined, taken out the session to join this session. We hope you had a good learning experience, and thank you, everyone. I am
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm also sharing the feedback link for all of you. I've just posted it. I would request everyone to please take 2 minutes out of their time to fill that feedback link. Thank you.
Thank you. So thanks all. Thank you.
Once you fill the feedback link, you can leave the session. Thank you, everyone. We'll be closing the session now.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor.